Chris has been busting his ass like an immigrant since 2014. He finally starts getting some traction with his brand 36 months later. He keeps working hard, he's building relationships, he's starting to have different artists wear his brand, and things are finally starting to look up. One day, his good friend Al hits him up and tells him, "Hey bro, I see this Facebook group of people buy, selling, and trading your clothes." No way. Yeah, seriously, look. Chris realizes in that moment that people are starting to look at his brand the same way that they look at Bape, Supreme, and Palace. Another year goes by of Chris still busting his ass and shipping out thousands upon thousands of orders and making dope collections and dope products. Then his girlfriend at the time is on Grailed looking for an old Supreme piece, and randomly she types in Lord Knows, and he has his own page on Grailed. So back in 2018, that was a crazy year for me. I found out that my child's mom was pregnant. Things was looking up. 4 or 5 years of hard work being in the game was like truly looking up for me. And it was a pivotal time in my life because I was happy as hell, but I was like depressed as hell too, because I don't think people can comprehend how much work I truly put in the first 48 months of running my brand. Like that shit was brutal because like I said, it's like I didn't know shit about nothing, and you probably watching this video right now and you probably don't know anything at all. That's why you watching the video, to just get a whole bunch of perspective on how do you really run a brand and how do you market it and how do you sell it and how do you do this and how do you do that and the sourcing and all that. So just imagine in 4 years, I didn't have a team, I didn't have nobody. It was truly just like me and my closest cousin. He's coming with me to pop-up shops. I was doing anything possible to get people to buy into my brand. And when year 3, year 4 came around, that's when everything just like started to change, when artists started to wear my brand and the perceived value of the brand was starting to look different from the customer's eye, because it fucked me up a little bit, because just 2 to 3 years before that, I ever got on Grailed and all these other websites and Facebook group pages like way back in the day of people trying to like resell my clothes and stuff, and I was selling out like crazy. People from where I'm from was looking at my brand as if like another brand that, like, you know, those brands where you got a homie or somebody you went to high school with and shit, they selling out the trunk, you know what I'm saying? And you just look at it as not perceived value the same way that you look at like a Bape hoodie or you look at Supreme pieces or you look at Palace. It kind of fucked with me because as much as I wanted that, as soon as I had it, it like put me in like this state of depression, because it was almost like a high that I was chasing in society, because especially at that time, everybody was like, oh, like if you're not Supreme or you're not Bape or you don't got these type of artists wearing your brand, you're really not shit. So once I started to get all of that, and once I started to get recognition, even on a small level, it really put me in a place of like not bliss. It put me in a place of like just feeling numb, and I was like almost dying to feel, and I was on this chase for something, and once I had that little bit of something, it was almost like this is it. And then it put me on another chase of like, well, maybe I need to chase da-da-da-da-da. And that was like my biggest downfall. People to this day ask me all the time, because they're on the chase, you know what I'm saying? Of them trying to get their brands and, you know, the perceived value of a consumer, and then build up the hype, and then they get up on Grailed and stuff like that. And the thing is that I never hit up Grailed. I don't know anybody that work at Grailed. The reason why I ended up on Grailed is really simple. There's no hack, there's no strategy to this. I just brought value to the marketplace. That's it. That's all I did. A kid from Portland that's been running a brand since 2014, and you can look it up on Grailed. It says that Chris Williams, 2014, Lord Knows Clothes, based out of Portland, Oregon. I never was trying to be on there. All I was trying to do was just change the perceived value of how people looked at my brand. When people see Lord Knows and they see Supreme, they see it from the same equality lens of like they both valuable brands. And obviously that takes time to get up to Supreme's level, and I'm sure obviously I'm older. My younger self is like, I wanted that, because I know what it's like for you. You know, you probably got this new brand, you probably in the garage, you probably in your childhood room right now, or you probably in the trenches, you know what I'm saying, blowing something down as you watching this, you know, and then you probably like, damn, he's speaking to me, because I know that you want the same thing as well. When you got your brand laid right next to Supreme or right next to Palace or Denim Tears or whoever, you want that perceived value as well. The same way people look at those brands, you want them to look at your brand the same way. The only way way I was able to do that was just iterating everything. And what I mean by iteration is just, I'm listening to the consumer. What do you like about this collection? What don't you like about this collection? I'm building relationships with artists, and I was never chasing or seeking that either. Like, I built beautiful relationships with artists within like my niche at least, and that's like the underground scene and stuff like that. And they started to see my brand as valuable, and they started to wear it. And then now their audience is buying from my brand and stuff like that. But I was never chasing that. All I was chasing was just like the perceived value of how the customer looks at my brand. And now once I got up on Grailed, now people look at me, oh, like you crushing it, you doing your thing on the local side. Cause you know, like the people that you went to high school with, and they low key are happy for you when they first see you making a brand, or even the haters, like they laughing at you selling out the trunk of the car and stuff like that. But now everybody's like, oh, like I want to be a part of it, bro. Like I support you. But it wasn't like that 36 months ago. Like you was laughing at me when you saw my foundation. Now I sat here and busted my ass, and now you saw me raise my value in just 36 to 48 months, and now you want to be a part of it. That's what I was kind of chasing, but that's the wrong framework to kind of have as well. Because at the end of the day, I was trying to chase validation. But at the same time, me chasing validation, it made me get better, because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to fail. I can't fail in front of these people that are counting on my downfall where I'm from. So even though I was chasing something and I was just dying to feel, and I felt nothing once I got it, at the same time, I look at the positive side of that. It did help me become better with my brand, with everything. And then I had to sit back and I was like, holy shit, you know what I mean? I literally like leaned back when I saw my shit on Grailed, and I'm like, how did they even find me and all this stuff? And you can go look on there yourself, like people reselling the golf money goggles I did for $1,500. Like those goggles, TK, the rapper TK that did the race, he wore those goggles before he went to jail when he was still a kid. And I'm just like reflecting back, and I'm just like, bruh, I made those goggles with Marcy Main from Golf Money Records in 2015. First year ever running the brand, in the trenches. Like literally, like I'm in my foundation. I'm in my childhood room at 24 years old when I made those goggles. Now those are probably like one of the most rarest artifact goggles out there. And I know it sounds crazy because of goggles, but it just so happened to be that Marcy Main was wearing the goggles when I was with him, some Gucci goggles. And I was like, bro, we should make like our own goggles. And then he was like, let's do it. And me and him created the shit, and the rest was history. But it's just crazy to see how like a thought got manifested into the 3D realm, into an external commodity initially, and then that commodity became perceived value, and it's something that will live on even if I died right now. So if you're trying to get up on Grailed, if you want the perceived value of your brand, you want people to be, when they look at it from the lens of like, this is a Supreme, this is the GV gallery, this is Denim Tears, this is a Palace, this is like Bape. If you want people to look at it from that, I wouldn't say chase validation, but just chase on getting better. And I promise you, if you just chase on getting better, everything will look up for you. I promise you, because you're gonna look back and be like, damn, just 5 years ago, I started this out the garage, or I started this out the trap, or I started this out of my childhood room, and all I focused on was just getting better. I just kept iterating and iterating and iterating and iterating. Then you found something that stuck, and then you just went crazy with it. And I feel like you can't control what's gonna happen with your brand, but if you get better and if you just stick through with it, over time, everything is gonna work out in your favor. So with that being said, divorce from the result and embrace the craft. I'm out. Bye.